What is going on, Colts Nation? Welcome back to another episode of Bring the Juice. Here, guys, Derek and Cody with you as always. And guys, the Indianapolis Colts commence another beating on a divisional rival, this time against the Tennessee Titans. Titans drop 0-3, and the Colts remain undefeated 3-0 to start this year. Cody, I saw a tweet, and we're going to talk about this real quick. So Daniel Jones and the Colts have now scored 103 points in their first 3 games of the season. No Indianapolis-era Colts team has ever done that. 3 Peyton Manning teams got to 100, but never eclipsed 101. So this offense has done something that no Indianapolis offense has ever done before. And Cody, you only punted once in this game. Outside of that, you have scored on every other possession. So I think it's now 25 possessions that we've had, like 25 through the first 3 weeks. Only on 4 of those possessions did you not score. I mean, what this offense has been doing, and like I know it's against Tennessee, but again, that's a defense that if their offense was any better, that defense could be a top 10 defense in the league if they weren't on the field for as much time as they were. I mean, just talking about that stat alone, 103 points through the first 3 games. I mean, what goes through your mind when you hear that, dude?
I am shocked. I mean, nobody predicted that the Colts would do this offensively. Like,
no,
you thought at some point it's got to slow down, right? And Colts did punt today for the first time the entire season. So I guess in that way,
the only time in the season,
the only time they punted once today. But you're right. I mean, the Colts doing whatever they want on offense again. 365 total yards today. And that was even, Derek, with a game where you actually didn't win the time of possession for the first time. The Colts offense was so efficient all day long, no matter what it was. You had 22 first downs. You could run the football. You could throw the football. You had a few penalties, but you were certainly better in that department today. And just overall, Derek, despite the fact that you ran 12 less plays in the Tennessee Titans, you had more yards than they did by not quite 100. The Titans had 282. You had 365. So you still outgained them by 80 yards on 3 less minutes and on, like I said, 12 less plays. So your offense was so efficient today, doing whatever they wanted. And just, man, if you would have told me this at the beginning of this season, I wouldn't have believed you. This Colts offense has been, to say efficient would be putting it lightly. They have been on a tear. I mean, they can do everything, man. They can run the football, and they did again today. Over 130 yards rushing, nearly 140 yards rushing today, and they can throw the football. Colts can do a little bit of everything, man, and I never would have thought the Colts would be this balanced offensively. It's truly impressive how balanced they've actually been, Derek, through the first 3 weeks of the season. It's very impressive considering, I know that you talked about it, Titans defense, when you look at it, okay, like, yeah, the stats don't look the greatest, but they also haven't been really helped out by their offense. Mm-hmm. But today the Colts continued to just do what they've done. It doesn't matter who they're playing on defense. I mean, they've just continued to be efficient. They've been able to give Daniel Jones time. They've been able to open lanes in the running game. I mean, they've done it all. So I am very impressed, man, to say the least, with this Colts offense. It's really fun to watch the Colts actually have and be able to have confidence as a fan. The offense can go down and score points. It's actually insane because we haven't had that in quite some time. I think this level of trust in the offense. And so far through 3 weeks, man, like you said, there's only been a handful of times, I can count on my one hand alone, the times the Colts haven't really done anything with the football. So it is insanely impressive. And shout out to Shane Steichen again, another masterclass performance by this Colts offense again. And I just want to shout out just everybody on that offense, man. They just did a tremendous job again today. I mean, you knew in your first away game of the season, you knew. I know Tennessee's was 0-2 coming into this game, but Derek, we just saw it in this Houston and Jacksonville game. These games can be tough. They can be tight. I don't care how good one team is and how bad another team is. These games come down to the wire a lot of times, and so the Colts never really let it get close in this game, which is definitely impressive in itself. And a huge part to do with the offense that I'll pull up a stat as well here, Derek. I actually posted this on Twitter. So the Indianapolis Colts, Derek, through 3 weeks, this is how they've done offensively scoring. 33 points against the Dolphins, 29 points against the Broncos, and then they put up a 40-burger against the Titans with 41 points, and that's with putting in backups at the end of the game as well, right? So, and you know what the crazy thing is, Derek? Colts could have scored more points in this game.
Oh,
that
yeah.
first half, they definitely left some points on the field. They did. So that is impressive in itself. This offense, like you said, just very, very impressive all the way around. And I've just been so impressed. And also another stat, Derek, the Colts have turned it over 0 times in these 3 games.
Insane.
Which is insane. Insane considering who the quarterback is. Insane considering what we saw the Colts offense.
This entire everything for the offense is just insane. It could never have imagined this. I couldn't have imagined this. Now, obviously, there's a whole rest of the season. You still got to do all this. Then, obviously, we know the opponent we're about to face. But, I mean, you're right. It's just insane to see the hyper effectiveness and efficiency at which the Indianapolis Colts are doing this. And you brought it up, too, that, we didn't even win the possession battle because ultimately the thing was Tennessee had more plays, but they were dinking and dunking everywhere. It was just dink and dunk all game. There was maybe 2 throws that were 20 plus yards down the field. Maybe. And only one of them was completed. Other than that, it was everything within 5 yards the whole game. And I applaud Cam Ward for getting it out quickly. But, I mean, you're not going to win football games by, just dinking and dunking the entire way. Which is crazy because everyone said that's what Daniel Jones was going to be this year. And Daniel Jones couldn't be further from that, which is just insane, the amount of confidence he has. So let's hop into this game, man. We talked about what this season has been. We'll continue to talk about it throughout the week. But just want to say again, this episode is sponsored by FanDuel. Guys, if you had the Indianapolis Colts in a blowout win today, probably made some good money over there on FanDuel. Again, the spread was only 5.5 for the Indianapolis Colts to start this game. So if you had the Indianapolis Colts winning in a blowout today by 20 or more, you're definitely very happy today. So be sure to check out FanDuel, guys. Again, they don't just have Colts games. They got all NFL. They got a bunch of different sports. They have alternative bets, popular bets, player bets, anything that you could want. So be sure to check out FanDuel today. Now, talking about injuries first, Cody, before we hop into individual performances, Alec Pierce in concussion protocol. We saw on that big pass that Daniel Jones threw in that third quarter, Alec Pierce, when he came down with it, that head hit the helmet. It clearly was definitely a bad one. And then really the only other serious injury was Kenny Moore with the calf injury. Charvarius Ward came back in the game after the cramps that he had. But Kenny Moore and Alec Pierce, 2 guys to keep an eye out for going into week 4, and who knows what other injuries the Colts may sustain.
Yeah, it was a bummer because Kenny Moore started you off so hot in this game, Derek, with that pick 6, and you definitely missed him as the game went on. When he went out and when Charvarius Ward got a little shaken up there, you definitely felt it. I mean, you were throwing out Jonathan Edwards, the undrafted free agent, at corner. That's how decimated you have been at corner. So hopefully the Kenny thing is nothing too serious. Now, you're going to need him in this game next week because the Rams are coming to town. We know they can sling it, but you're going to definitely need him. But obviously, you don't want to rush him back if he's not ready. So that's definitely one to monitor. And then you mentioned Alec Pierce as well with that potential concussion. Like you said, helmet hit the turf. You hate to see that. And hopefully, I mean, the good thing is, Derek, Pierce walked off and seemed okay. But again, you just never truly know with those things, right? So just going to continue to monitor that. But if he's not going to go, Derek, if he has to miss next week, you're going to be seeing a lot more of Adonai Mitchell. And we did see that in that second half of that game when Pierce went out. So, yeah, I mean, definitely hope the best for both these guys. I would rather be safe than sorry with them and have them later on in the season than potentially try to rush them out for next week. But definitely 2 injuries that bear monitoring, no doubt.
Yep, definitely. And we'll continue to keep you guys updated once we know more. And Kenny Moore is definitely going to be the one that we need to keep an eye out for the most because we don't know the seriousness of that. Anyways, let's go into it here, Cody. First, got to talk about Daniel Jones. 18 of 25 today, 228 yards, 1 touchdown, QB rating of 113.4. And again, Cody, sacked 0 times. Now, that wasn't to say that the Tennessee Titans didn't get pressure on Daniel Jones. They got a lot of pressure on Daniel Jones today. But somehow, Vanilla Vic, as the new name that we call him now, he is earning every single bit of that nickname because some of the sacks he avoided today, Cody, absolutely insane. But again, Daniel Jones, Cody, continues to just, I've not seen this. This is just insane. The fact that you only had to throw the ball 25 times today, which is quite crazy given the fact that, we couldn't run the ball early. So the Colts had to throw the ball a lot. But the difference was your completions, when you're completing a pass for 9 yards on average for every single one, it goes to show you're moving the ball down the field with a lot of these great catches. So it was, again, another super efficient day. And Daniel Jones, Cody, continues to show you he's not fazed by anything. Right now, he is not fazed by anything. You go on the road. It's your first AFC South game that you're wondering about. How's he going to respond with being on the road because he's been at home all these times and facing a good defense? How's he going to look? Look just as good as ever, Cody.
He did. Yeah, you're absolutely right. I mean, another strong performance. Actually, Derek, Daniel Jones's best game completion percentage-wise, 75% today for Daniel Jones, which is insane when you think about that. And just a fantastic performance again. 272 passing yards, the passing touchdown in this game. And he doesn't do anything crazy today, but he was very efficient, like you said. And like you said, on that potential sack, that is just, dare I say it, Derek, that's what we saw from Andrew Luck. The defender in his face, he sheds him off, he runs for the first down. Like that kind of stuff, we just haven't, we haven't seen Daniel Jones do that. Like we just haven't. Like we know that Daniel Jones is athletic. Like we know that. But dude, this is impressive. He's taking it to another level this week. He's just continuing, like you said, pressure in his face. He is not faced. He's not panicked. He makes the plays he needs to make. And we sometimes forget, because Daniel Jones has been slinging it so well, this dude can run the football too when you need him to. So, yeah, I have been absolutely impressed. Another strong performance by Daniel Jones. Look, he doesn't have to throw for 4 or 5 touchdowns because the Colts have been running the ball so well.
Yeah.
But he could. He really could. So, another really, really strong performance from Daniel Jones today, Derek. And, his second game of the season where he's over 72% completion percentage in a game. And that's pretty stinking impressive when you think about that. So, yeah, I was very impressed again by Daniel Jones. Just the calmness he brings to your offense. It's insane, man. It's next level. I did not expect, I'll be the first to admit, I didn't expect Daniel Jones to bring this level of stability to this offense while also, like you said, not just being check down Charlie, right? Where he's actually throwing the ball down the field. He's actually spreading the ball out. He's doing some of the things that we thought, this is why we would want Anthony Richardson, right? Because Richardson throws the deep ball. He doesn't just check it down. And honestly, Derek, from what we heard, people were saying that was kind of the game plan for Daniel Jones through preseason and also through training camp. So to see him come out and sling it like this, it's obviously something we're going to welcome and be happy about. But this is just stuff we didn't hear about. So I am very impressed as of right now with Daniel Jones and just the way that he is continuing to stand in the face of pressure, deliver accurate throws, and just be calm and collected in the pocket. It's just incredible, man. I just can't say enough on how wrong I was, first off, and I think we can both admit that.
Yeah.
Daniel Jones just looked freaking fantastic, and we look like idiots, and I'm fine with that.
He is playing outside of maybe 1 or 2 guys, maybe Lamar and maybe Josh Allen, he's looked like the 3rd best quarterback in the league this year. You can't say that he hasn't. From an efficiency standpoint, it doesn't get any better than what Daniel Jones has been. And you're right, Cody. It's like he knows everywhere he needs to go with it. And that's what's incredible is the fact that, like, it's not been anything more. Maybe that's why he's so confident, because he knows where he needs to go with the football every single time. And that's why he's been so efficient. And it's why he's not worried about the pressure of anything, because he knows where to go with this football every time he touches it. It's so strange to see it, because, again, we haven't seen it since, I mean, we didn't even see this kind of efficiency from Andrew Luck. And Andrew Luck was one of the most gifted passers that we've ever seen. But from an efficiency standpoint, Andrew Luck never had anything on this. Like, from an overall efficiency standpoint of making sure that this offense in its first 25 offensive possessions, that only 4 of them in which you didn't score, we've never seen this. I mean, this is just on another level, and it has been because, in part, of Daniel Jones.
That's saying something, because we know Andrew Luck was a fantastic player for the Colts. But that doesn't speak to discredit Andrew Luck at all. Don't get us wrong. That's just how good Daniel Jones is playing, man. It's insane. I never expected this. I don't think anybody expected this. I think this is probably the biggest, like, surprise story of anything, any player, honestly. So, I have been so impressed by Daniel Jones in this offense. Kept them going all day long. Even when they had hiccups there, Derek, in certain points in that second quarter, they come out right there in that third quarter. Danny Dimes, beautiful pass to Michael Pittman to extend that lead out even further. You know, you're up by 2 scores going into the half. He pushes it to 3 scores. I mean, he just looked calm and collected. The Colts marched right down the field, did whatever they wanted against this Titan defense. And Daniel Jones just delivered a beautiful strike there to Pittman. So, man, absolutely fantastic work again by Daniel Jones, commanding this offense, getting to the right spots, like you said, throwing the ball where he needed to throw it with efficiency and with precision and accuracy and all that stuff that good quarterbacks need. So, what can you say more than we've already said, man, about Daniel Jones? We could just talk for another hour on how freaking good Daniel Jones has looked. I would be happy to do that. And I would be happy to say I was stupid for not wanting Daniel Jones, because he has made us all look the fool. And we are happy with that.
No one could have expected this. Even the Daniel Jones truthers that were first on it before everyone else, Cody, could not tell you that Daniel Jones would look this good.
And it's awesome. Like, credit to the guy, man. Credit to freaking Daniel Jones. Everybody wrote him off. They said, man, this guy's done. He's a bust. Blah, blah, blah. I mean, even when I heard people like making the Baker Mayfield comparisons, I'm like, I don't know. But Derek, it's been kind of like that. It's been kind of like that, even better at times through the first 3 weeks.
He has just found a offense that he feels comfortable in. And in addition to the guy that we're about to talk about, he has allowed for a lot of the stuff that Daniel Jones runs. Like, Cody, that bootleg today, Daniel Jones' favorite play, and it was working all game. Michael Pittman, it was working for him. Tyler Warren, it was working for him. Josh Downs, it worked for. Jonathan Taylor, it was working for. Everything. Everyone on the bootleg was loving today. So, I mean, it definitely was the type of situation, because in addition to having a great offensive scheme that he works with, it helps to have Cody, the best running back in the NFL this season currently, in Jonathan Taylor. 17 carries today, 102 yards, 3 touchdowns on the day, Cody. We've been waiting for a rushing touchdown from Jonathan Taylor all season long, and finally he gets 3 in this game. His best one was a 46-yard run in the third quarter, where he bounced off of 4 different tacklers to end up getting a touchdown. I mean, Cody, this is the best we've seen Jonathan Taylor run since 2021. I mean, we have not seen Jonathan Taylor run like this in nearly 4 years. And he's on another level right now. And some of the runs today too, where he gets stuffed at the line, but yet somehow keeps his legs moving and gets 2 or 3 yards, very important yards that he really needed. I mean, Jonathan Taylor, man, is just on another level right now running the football, Cody, and it cannot be understated. He is looking like one of, if not the best running back in the NFL this season.
Yeah. Again, another strong performance for JT, especially Derek, considering, like we talked about earlier, the Titans were doing a pretty good job in that first half of kind of containing this Colts offense. So the majority of these yards came in the second half for Jonathan Taylor. Like you said, he broke off that 46-yarder where he made so many guys miss. I mean, Derek, that was kind of reminiscent to me. I mean, it's been so many vintage JT moments, but how about like that Jacksonville game at the end of the 2020 season where JT makes like 3 or 4 guys miss? Like, he's done that so many times, right? I could point to like so many games, but you're right. Like, this looked like prime 2021 Jonathan Taylor. I mean, he was making guys miss in the open field and breaking off these massive runs to, and I'm sure he wanted that one back from the Denver game. He didn't get last week because he couldn't score. He was close, but he got down to like the 10 or 5 yard line. So I'm sure he wanted it back. And this time he got it with that 46-yard run there. That really just, I mean, if the game was even close at that point, JT completely sealed it there. Like, that was the proverbial nail in the coffin, if you will, for this game for the Colts. So, yeah, like you said, JT, 3 rushing touchdowns today, ran for average 6 yards per carry. I mean, after the Titans did a good job defensively in that first half, JT just couldn't be contained in that second half, just did whatever he wanted to running the football. And credit this Colts offensive line for really locking in that second half, man, and really starting to move some people. And so, yeah, vintage JT Day again, and just fantastic performance from him. And this Colts offensive line, again, like I said, shout out to them for allowing JT some open holes there in that second half to really take their offense to a second level here.
Yeah, and Cody, what's crazy too is the Indianapolis Colts only had 3 possessions in that second half. They technically had 4, but that fourth one, there was basically 5 minutes left, and the game was 3 touchdowns at that point, and the Colts were just, basically running the clock out. But like how hyper efficient it was, and the fact that, Daniel Jones didn't have to throw the football a whole lot in that second half. That's where the bootleg came in, because Jonathan Taylor was doing so good in the second half that the Titans had to sell out on everything, bringing all these guys up to the line, and then nobody accounted for the bootleg. Michael Pittman made it work. Tyler Warren made it work. I mean, it's phenomenal to see what Jonathan Taylor has been able to do through these first couple weeks. Daniel Jones, 4 carries for 27 yards. Again, that 17-yarder where it looked like he was definitely going to be sacked, avoided it somehow, and ended up running for a first down. I mean, again, it's just the magic of what this season has been for Daniel Jones. And you're right, we forget how athletic he can be at times. Like, he's deceptively fast for as big as he is. Not much else to it when it came to it. Anthony Richardson, even with the opportunity to have a QB sneak at the end of that game, Cody, when the Colts were looking for a first down on that 4th and 1, and Richardson even getting his own sneak at the end when the game was already out of reach. Okay, so wide receivers, big day for a bunch of guys. Michael Pittman, 6 catches for 73 yards and a touchdown. This was the game for Michael Pittman this year. Alec Pierce, 4 catches for 67 yards. Should have been 5 for about 100, but, they called that one catch that he had an incomplete pass after he dropped it because of the concussion that he suffered. Unfortunate for him. Tyler Warren, the lowest amount of usage we've seen from Tyler Warren so far. Only 5 targets on the day. One of them was a drop. It was the first play of the game for them offensively, but did have 3 catches for 38 yards.
I will say this, Derek. I will say this real fast. Sorry. With the Tyler Warren thing, he had an incredible block on that long JT run. Yes. So, he didn't do a lot statistically, but his presence was felt throughout this game running the football. So I just wanted to add that in there, because you look at Tyler Warren, you're like, it wasn't a great game for him, but what he did in the run game, you can't understate. So just wanted to shout him out real quick.
Yeah, 100%. Anyways, so going forward with it, Jonathan Taylor, 3 catches for 16 yards. Josh Downs, 2 catches for 34 yards. Adonai Mitchell was targeted twice. One was a very big contested catch, and the other one was the big pass interference call in the end zone that got the Colts into inside the 5-yard line where Jonathan Taylor got his final rushing touchdown. So from the receiving group, Cody, what did you like? What did you not like?
Yeah, like you said, I mean, I didn't really find a lot I didn't like, to be honest with you. That's how good the Colts were at really passing the football all day long. Michael Pittman Jr., again, a strong performance. After last week, kind of being a little quiet, Derek. He had a really, really strong performance today. He led the Colts in catches and yardage and had the only receiving touchdown today. So, I mean, just Michael Pittman Jr. just continues to do what he does. Like you said, man, when you're doing those bootlegs, you just found Pittman and he made a couple guys miss, man. I think he was a little bit more athletic and a little bit more elusive than people give him credit for. So,
nice to have a healthy Michael Pittman Jr., that's for sure.
Yeah, you're right. You're absolutely right. And then Alec Pierce, I mean, you took shots to him all day long. You're right. You probably should have had that fifth catch. It was kind of a debatable call there by the referees. But, regardless of that, Pierce was open all day long and making plays for this offense. Hopefully he gets back sooner rather than later because you just can't replace what Pierce could do for this offense any given play. And like you mentioned, Warren 3 for 38, down to a little bit of a quiet day, but still was efficient, 2 for 34. Adonai Mitchell, he drew that big PI there at the end of that game that really sealed it for you. So, yeah, man, absolutely a great, great performance from all the pass catchers. I was impressed by pretty much everybody.
Yeah, absolutely. Last offensive thing here, offensive line. How'd you feel about it? Obviously, second half, you were able to run the football a lot more efficiently. I mean, I've said it before, Cody. We've always had problems running the football on the Tennessee Titans. It's just so hard to do. You got guys like Simmons, and that front seven they have is always specifically built to stop the run. And it's always been difficult for us. So,
yeah. I mean, it was clear what their game plan was. Stop Jonathan Taylor, make Jonathan Taylor, take him out of the game, make Daniel Jones beat you. That was kind of what their game plan was. And Daniel Jones obviously did that. But like you said, whenever the Colts were just doing whatever they wanted, it really started to open up the Colts' ability to run the football more effectively in that second half. And the offensive line locked in, like we said. So that was definitely great. But early on, they definitely had their struggles running the football. So, yeah, it was great to see that offensive line, like you said, protecting Daniel Jones again. Now Daniel Jones hasn't even been sacked once per game thanks to this offensive line through 3 weeks. So, yeah, man, credit to them. It was a little bit of a struggle in the run game, but they got it right in the second half, and they protected Daniel Jones all day long. And they should have. I mean, Jeffrey Simmons, like we said, really good defensive player and everything. But, I mean, the Tennessee Titans, they were missing some guys on that defensive line, right? So you expected this offensive line to protect Daniel Jones, and to their credit, they did, because you knew Tennessee was going to be sending some guys, just like Miami, just like Denver. You knew they were going to be sending some blitzes, and Colts weren't, they weren't perfect, don't get me wrong. Like, there were still some times where Jones had to make it happen, but I think the offensive line continues to be good enough here to give Daniel Jones all the time he needs to find his guys. So, yeah, shout out to the offensive line again. I thought it was a pretty solid performance all the way around. You got some things fixed in that second half, and really were unstoppable from there. And I think the offensive line's a big reason why, Derek.
Yep, absolutely, man. So, Cody, how do you want to do this betting thing here? You want to do that?
Yeah, we can do that real quick. So again, guys, shout out to FanDuel for sponsoring this stream and for sponsoring this video. We really do appreciate them for their sponsorship throughout the entirety of this season. So yeah, Derek, when it comes to the Indianapolis Colts, obviously they are 3-0 and very impressed by that victory. So if you guys took advantage of FanDuel already and maybe you won some money because you believed in the Colts to blow out the Titans. And if you did, like you said, Derek, hopefully you feel pretty good about it. So when it comes to this, though, Derek, when you're looking at the Indianapolis Colts right now, I actually want to look at this since the Colts are 3-0 right now atop the division. Mm-hmm. If you look at here some of the future stuff for the Colts, if you want to bet the Colts to be the AFC South winners, right now the line is negative 105, guys. So
we are the favorite.
We are the favorite right now, so you can go check that out. But if you want to get a little more brave, say Indianapolis Colts win 10 games, or the Indianapolis Colts even maybe go to the Super Bowl. Maybe we're feeling good about this. that is obviously a lot bigger of a margin. That's plus 4,000 right now, Derek. So even the Colts have looked that good. I know it's still like, ooh, okay, they don't believe in us that much. So if you guys want to take advantage of that, guys, be sure to do that. Like Colts odds for winning the AFC South and winning 10 plus games, pretty good right now. But if you want to go crazy and say Colts are going to go win the Super Bowl and you really believe it with how good they're playing, hey, man, go do that. But just wanted to shout out FanDuel. That's some of the stuff right now live as we record this for some of the future stuff for the Indianapolis Colts when you're looking at it. So, and also there's another one, Derek, for the Colts to make the playoffs. That is at negative 225. So pretty good odds there for the Colts to make the playoffs since they start off.
When you start 3-0, teams that start 3-0 over 75% of the time make the playoffs. So it's very rare that it doesn't happen. So, I mean, it's
exactly
unless the Colts just epically collapse over the next few weeks, then the Indianapolis Colts have a pretty dang good shot of making it.
So, don't say that because it's happened before.
I know it's happened before, but just relax.
I know. I'm just messing around. But again, guys, shout out to FanDuel. Be sure to go check them out. I mean, there's some more games coming up here. There's some stuff for the 4 o'clock games and obviously primetime stuff tonight and tomorrow night. So be sure to check out. Again, shout out to FanDuel for sponsoring this video. Let's get back into it, Derek, and let's flip it now to the Colts defense.
Absolutely. So we look at it here. Tennessee, 20 points on the day, Cody, and 14 of that came in late in this game. They scored once at the end of the third quarter and then obviously scored once in the middle of the fourth quarter. I will say, Cody, I am quite shocked that the offense for the Tennessee Titans was so lax at the end of that game. When you were down 3 touchdowns, and they're real, and it's weird too because Tennessee in the second quarter and in the third quarter were trying hurry up, but then weren't doing that in the fourth quarter, which is very weird that you were down so much and they, just didn't really do a lot of things there. Anyways, Cam Ward, 23 of 38 today for 219 yards, had a touchdown, but also had that pick 6 to start the game by Kenny Moore, was sacked 4 times today for a total loss of 23. Cody, Cam Ward has been sacked 15 times through the first 3 weeks of this NFL season. Poor freaking guy. Overall, from the passing game perspective, what did you see from this Colts team? Like we mentioned before, Colts defense shut down early in the game. But then as midway through that second quarter and beyond, things started opening up a little bit.
Yeah, I had my beef there, Derek, with this Colts defense and that a couple different times where it looks like that Denver game. It looks so easy. Like they were just Tennessee getting into a rhythm. Colts pass rush, while they did get 4 sacks, it really felt spotty today. I mean, it did. I'll have to say this, Derek. I'm concerned about this Colts pass rush. I'm going to be honest. I don't think Samson Ebukam needs to see the field for a while. I mean, he was bad today. He couldn't get after the quarterback. He could not set the edge. There was multiple times when Tennessee got outside of him. I mean, I'd rather play JT Tuimoloau, to be honest with you. Like, it's not good at all from Ebukam. And it was just a big, frustrating game for me to watch that and watch the Titans continue to just do whatever they wanted and the Colts to not get pressure. And Ebukam had chances and he still wasn't able to get to the player or get to the running back or go get to the quarterback. It was very disappointing today. But like you said, the Colts did get some pressures. Tyquan Lewis had 2 sacks today. So shout out to him. Kwity Paye also had a sack. Leatu Latu was in on a couple, but didn't actually finish with the sack officially, although he was in on that 1 sack. So it definitely, man, was good to see the Colts get some pressure, but I do have some concerns moving forward because we know how beat up that Tennessee offensive line was, and it felt like Cam Ward was way too comfortable, especially like we said, in certain situations after you dominated that first quarter. It felt like the Titans really were moving the ball a lot, and they didn't score all the time, but they really were moving the ball and being efficient with it. So a little bit concerned about that moving forward, and obviously the injuries to the secondary as well are helpful. And I don't know what to think about the corner room right now, to be honest with you. I mean, I just felt like no matter who was out there, they just were not in the right position. They were not doing what they needed to do at times. And it is concerning to me, man, because you got the injuries and you also just got some players who aren't really playing super well that you are paying and that you're bringing in to rely on, specifically two guys, Samson Ebukam and Xavier Howard. I'm a little bit concerned about them and should they continue to see a good majority of the snaps. But
I mean,
also,
Xavier, you have no choice because of just how many injuries continue to happen on there unless you go out and sign another cornerback that figures it out. I mean, which is, it's hard to do mid-season. But I think what upset me the most, Cody, is like the fact that, as I said before, the Tennessee Titans, they did not stretch the field in any way. Everything was dump-offs. Everything. It was all bootlegs. It was all stuff in the flat, everything. And they just got yak yards, man. Like, that's all it was. It was just catching it at the line of scrimmage, and then nobody was there for about 5 yards, and then it was just a 10-yard gain, it felt like, every single time they caught it. So it's just like, that's what upsets me most, is like, it's not even really the fact of, some of the catches that the guys did have. Like, that's the problem, is just the fact that everything was up on the line of scrimmage, and yet Lou Anarumo kept just saying, keep everything in front. Like, and maybe that was intended, Cody, because, we knew that the Tennessee Titans were going to have to put drives together, and maybe the Colts were just like, we can do that. We know if we just don't let them make the big play, that to ask them to have to put so many drives together. And especially when the Colts kept scoring, maybe that was ultimately what Lou Anarumo was kind of talking with Steichen about, is like, maybe we just make the Tennessee Titans run all this clock out. Even if Tennessee scores, they're not going to be able to keep up with us offensively. So maybe that was it, because, it was just so much more reserved at times when it came to how the defense went about things. And maybe that was by design. I have no idea. But nevertheless, you did keep them to only 20 points. And one of those scores was a garbage time score. And on top of that, 3 of those points, Cody, that they did end up scoring, that should have never happened in the first place, because when Cam Ward threw that screen that was recovered by Grover Stewart, that was a backwards pass. I just want people to know that was a backwards pass. I don't know why it wasn't reviewed. I don't know why somebody didn't mention it. I don't know. But that 100% looked like a reverse pass to me. So I don't know why that wasn't reviewed. It should have been 3 points taken off the board, and the Colts should have had the ball, and it should have worked out. But it didn't. And I don't know why, but we're here now, whatever. Nevertheless, we digress. We move on here. Tennessee, 23 carries today for 86 yards, just under 4 yards a carry. They did have 1 rushing touchdown. One of the honestly better days, Cody, at stopping the run. Obviously, no Derrick Henry anymore to set the tone for the offense, which, I mean, again, the Tennessee offense, they can run the football efficiently. They can move the ball a little bit. But the problem is just there's no home run hitter on that, and your passing offense is just so limited it just can't complement the run game. So that's the major issue with the Tennessee Titans offense right now.
Yeah, I think you're right. I agree because I felt like the Colts did a pretty solid job. I mean, there's a few runs that Pollard would have or something like that, but I think you're right. Like, I felt the Colts did probably their best they've done through 3 weeks at stopping the run. I mean, they did. Like, Tennessee wasn't able to just run it at will in this game. Indianapolis was able to, for the most part. Again, they weren't perfect in this game, but I think for the most part, they were able to get back some of that mojo and stopping the run. And obviously, you hope that continues on moving forward, because that Denver game especially was not great. So hopefully you're improving in those ways. But yeah, man, I mean, the defense, outside of some things that frustrated me there late in that game on the defensive side of the ball, and again, could have been by design. Yeah, it probably could have been, even though I disagree with it. At the end of the day, you're right. You still held them to 20. You still won by over 20 in this game. So it is what it is, man. Also, especially considering the fact that you're down as many corners as you are, and you're going out there throwing out all these random backup guys. Like, I understand that as well. It kind of limits what you can do, but still, I would have liked to see a little bit more aggression. I would have liked to see you hold them under 20, just considering how good your offense was playing. But whatever, man, as long as this doesn't continue and isn't a trend moving forward, I'll be okay with it. But yeah, I wasn't impressed in that second half with that defensive performance at all.
Yeah, it definitely wasn't the best performance, but it is what it is. Again, when your offense is scoring the way that it is, I mean, it really wasn't much else that you can really ask for. Let's finish it up with the special teams, because there was a lot to talk about. Cody, the Tennessee Titans made us punt for the first time this year. I'll give credit where credit is due for the Tennessee Titans. Congratulations. Yep. Congratulations. You made us punt one time. One time. Thank you. And Rigoberto Sanchez pinned you inside your own 10. So we're glad to see that happen.
We're glad to see Rigo get a little bit of work, man.
Yeah, he didn't get a free paycheck today. He got like a partial day. He got a partial day.
Although Tennessee was this close from hitting him and not allowing him to.
I was like, dude, I was like, could only imagine if they would have actually hit him. I was gonna be so mad because I just wanted to see it happen. But yeah, that was funny. And Spencer Schrader, 2 of 3. Cody, the first miss from Spencer Schrader of his career. What was it, a 51-yarder? I think it was a 51-yarder.
It was like a 51-52, I think.
Yeah, something like that. So, yeah, missed one, but he did make 2 of the other 3 when asked to. Made all his extra points, so.
I thought that was some good mental toughness from him coming back from that miss and hitting the next one. I mean, that's what you want. Like, you're not gonna hit them all. Like, that's just a reality of it, Derek. But I thought his response to that was good, and I felt pretty good about it, man. I felt like, all right,
good about it. I felt good about it last week when he talked about it, how, when he missed that first one, and then talked about how, coming back after that flag, to have the mental fortitude to say, all right, time to reset. That's a great mentality to have, like you said.
And that's what you need to have, it no matter what you're playing. If you're playing quarterback, if you're playing corner, if you're playing kicker, you got to have that mentality. I'm not going to get them all. I'm not going to be perfect, but I got to move on and I got to be better the next time. Like, that's just your reality. Nobody's perfect, but it's how you respond from when you do mess up, when you do miss that kick, right? So, yeah, I was fine with that. Like, obviously, you would have liked the points. Again, that's 3 points right there. You don't add on to the 41 points you already scored. But again, Spencer Schrader came through after that, and so I was perfectly fine with it. It happens, man. As long as he continues to be that, be mental and have that strong mentality there, like, I'm good with it, man. So, yeah, you would like to see him hit that one, but it is what it is. And how about this, man? What the heck is Brian Callahan thinking when he trots out his kicker for a 60-plus yarder?
Multiple times.
Sometimes I get baffled by Shane Steichen's decisions, and then I'm like, well, at least we don't have Brian Callahan, who I think is the dumbest coach in the NFL by a wide margin.
Our friend Rossi, who we had on for the preview, was in a group chat with me and the other roundtable boys and was saying repeatedly, fire Callahan, fire Callahan, fire Callahan. And it's crazy too, Cody, because that is the mood in Tennessee right now. It's not the players that they hate. It's the coach. They hate the coach. And the crazy part is too, is that first one that Sly missed, right? Indianapolis called a timeout, right? Indianapolis called a timeout. Stop the clock. It was 4th and 1 at the 44-yard line or something like that. And you had the situation where, or no, it wasn't at the 44. It was actually at the 39-yard line. And we called a timeout, and then Tennessee kept the offense out there to try to get the Colts to jump off sides, right? And then you call a timeout too, and then you decide to bring your field goal unit out, but you brought them out late, and Callahan was saying that the refs didn't switch the ball out in time, and it cost them and then you get the delay of game.
Right.
When it was like, if that were the case, the officials would have gave you more time. if they didn't switch it out on their purpose. But you can't send the field goal unit out 10 seconds into the game clock running and then hope that they're going to be ready in time. So then you put your kicker in a situation where now he was already kicking a really deep field goal. Now he has to kick it even deeper. And it's like, yeah, you're right. Like, I know that Sly can make those. He has the leg for it. But to ask your kicker to routinely have to kick 60 plus yards is just asinine. It's stupid. I don't care how good of a kicker you are. To ask a kicker to have to kick the ball 60 freaking yards several times is just ludicrous. And especially in that first half, too, when there were multiple times you had a chance to stay in the game. And the fact that you couldn't and you did that, it's like Shane Steichen 2.0. It's like they didn't learn from what Steichen had to deal with last week.
Yeah, it was very, very weird all day long. So I understand the pain of Titans fans right now. I mean, just a pathetic performance again from Brian Callahan. I mean, I don't think he knows exactly what he's doing as a head coach. I think it's very obvious he's over his head. So whatever, man, you'll take that. I'm like, as a fan, I'll take that. Now, ultimately, the one didn't matter because Schrader missed our kick, so it didn't matter. But the other one, you're like, what are we doing, man? Like, what are you doing? You're making life so difficult on your kicker. I don't understand it. But you know what? Whatever, man. Colts special teams. Also, I want to shout out, I do believe, Derek, I believe Anthony Gould had probably his best performance returning kicks today. I thought he had a couple where it was really nice, but you had like the 35-40. So shout out to him on those. I thought he did a pretty good job today. I think he definitely has had his struggles here early on, but I want to give a special shout out to him. I thought special teams outside of the one Schrader miss were really, really excellent today.
Outside of, kickoff coverage. Coverage.
Well, that's been a problem for a while.
It's been a problem all year. It's got to get fixed. So
that's got to get fixed for sure. You're right.
Just to end this right here, Shane Steichen on the Colts punting for the first time this season. He said, we're all on the headsets like we punted. Shoot. So there's that narrative gone. Yeah. But
dang it.
Yeah, I know, right? Whatever. It's fine. It's still one punt in 25 offensive possessions. Pretty dang good.
You will take that.
But that's it for this one, guys. Again, shout out to everyone. Shout out to FanDuel as well for sponsoring this episode. And again, guys, Colts go 3-0. Haven't seen that since 2009. And you have never seen more points in a 3-game stretch of the Indianapolis Colts ever. It's in what we're at right now. So enjoy it, guys. We got to get ready now for the Los Angeles Rams, who just suffered a massive, heartbreaking loss against the Philadelphia Eagles. But we're going to hop into that one. But thank you guys again so much for tuning in. Let us know your thoughts on this game. Thank you so much. And as always, go Colts.